Welcome to the deep dive. We've got some really powerful source material in front of us today.
Yeah, the lyrics from Barkaa's track division.
Exactly. It's intense, it's definitely challenging, and it doesn't pull any punches at all.
No, it doesn't. And our mission here, just to be clear for everyone listening, isn't about fact-checking the lyrics themselves.
You're right.
It's really about unpacking the themes, the perspectives, understanding the statement the artist is making in this work, based purely on the words on the page.
It gives us a really interesting window into a specific viewpoint.
For sure.
And there's quite a lot to explore,
Yeah.
even in just a few minutes. So let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
Okay, so diving right in, one of the first things that really hits you, I think, is the focus on the justice system.
Incarceration.
Yeah, incarceration.
Yeah.
The artist throws out these numbers right away. Indigenous people making up 28% of these prisons.
Right.
While being, according to the lyrics, only 3% here in this population. It's a very bold opening.
It absolutely is. And what's really interesting, just looking at the text, is how quickly that statistic is placed next to something else.
Yeah, what's that?
This claim that the other 97% are under the ground missing, that contrast is immediate.
So connecting current incarceration rates directly to historical loss and violence.
Exactly. That connection seems crucial within the lyrics. It frames the prison system not just as a current issue, but as part of a much longer history, a continuation almost, described later as institution lies.
That framing definitely sets a tone. And it follows through, doesn't it? The lyrics get quite specific about the anger expressed.
They do. There's mention of Copers killing M and people being proud about it.
So how does bringing in those really sharp, specific examples connect to the bigger theme of division?
Well, in this narrative, it directly links those perceived acts and the apparent lack of remorse to why there's so much anger and loudness.
After being silent.
After, as the lyrics say, being silenced too long. So the anger isn't presented as random, it's positioned as a direct reaction.
A reaction to specific events and a history of not being heard.
Precisely. And that allows the lyrics to then point towards what it claims is the root cause of the division itself.
Which the lyrics explicitly state is a white man-made problem.
Yeah. Yes, and it weaves in quite a specific story about the drug trade's impact.
Right, the claim about truckers bringing drugs to get them hooked.
And then using some very strong language that others wrap the F so the black man's blame.
It's a very direct accusation linking historical actions to present blame.
Yeah, it connects a perceived historical act introducing drugs to current problems and the criminalization talked about earlier. It draws a line in the song from past grievance to present issues, but it goes even deeper than that, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The historical grievances listed are profound. It talks about ancestors being slaughtered, knowledge and language stolen off my mother's tongue.
Even claiming colonizers poisoned our waters.
And that controversial claim about inventions being swin all inventions and claim them. It's a really broad sweep of historical harm being described.
And this part seems really critical to the overall message. It's trying to tie all the current struggles directly back to colonial history.
So the claim is that those acts created today's conditions.
That's what the artist seems to be claiming here, yes. That the violence, the cultural theft, the land issues, the appropriation that they created, the current challenges, and the division, it's a clear line from the past right up to now.
Including feeling, like the lyrics say, painted as a drunk, even when sober.
Right. It feels like it's presenting this comprehensive historical foundation for the anger and the resistance we hear later.
And yet, despite all that pain described in the lyrics, the tone does shift, quite dramatically actually. It becomes defiant.
Very defiant. Forward-looking, even.
Phrases like, preparing to die, but then immediately saying, my culture thrives without me alive.
Or coming for that stolen wealth.
Yeah, and the tables are turned, so now you call me Mrs. Boss.
That's not despair. Not at all. It reads like a declaration of survival, Resilience. And a demand for a real power shift.
Rejecting the victim narrative.
It seems like it. Rejecting being defined by that trauma and asserting agency, which leads right into that explicit dismissal of the current system's symbols.
Fuck your table and we legs.
And fuck your constitution. It's a total rejection of the framework, as the artist presents it.
Wow. It really lays bare this deep sense of injustice, but also this incredible anger and defiance, all packed into these lyrics.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Looking just at this text, we see a story, a narrative of really deep anger.
Rooted in historical trauma and what the artist sees as ongoing systemic problems.
Exactly. It's a raw, powerful expression of pain, yes, but also resistance, a demand for change from this specific perspective.
It's definitely an unfiltered look at a viewpoint shaped by these claimed experiences. This deep dive into division shows a voice that feels it's been ignored.
And is now demanding to be heard, challenging everything based on the claims made in the song itself. And that leaves us with maybe a final thought for you to consider, drawn straight from the lyrics. If the past, as depicted here, is seen as the source of all this current pain and division, what does that declaration it's about to change truly envision for the future? What kind of change is being called for to address those deep historical harms? Something to mull over.